Did we lose Tom? No, okay, we got Tom back.
No audio.
No audio. Just, I think he can hear us this time. Sorry, folks. We've been having Tom audio problems this whole time.
Yes.
Honestly, but nope, still can't hear you. I think Tom just like
being. Nope, we were double muted. This is the way I protect my career when I'm also on other streams.
That's a really smart career protection move, actually.
You would think, but every now and again you don't realize that you're not double muted, and you're like, "What the?" And you see the reactions of people, and you're like, "Oh no, they know what I really think about them now."
Yeah. Like, oh no, I said the quiet part out loud twice.
Mine is always like body language. You can't hide that. Where I'm like,
yep. No, I've been told multiple times in multiple not kind ways, I do not have a poker face. So
no.
That's why I can't commit crime, because crime is still crime.
Crime is still crime, even when it's funny. That's why we're playing Capture the Flag.
Yeah, we'll see how good I do on this one.
Oh man.
I believe in you, Claude.
Come on, French intern. So yeah, so we will be playing Capture the Flag very shortly, as soon as both Tom and I finish fixing our broken builds and are very organized. Totally didn't happen at 1:30 this morning, local time. Game setup.
I will blame all of my mistakes on Microsoft updates.
It's a valid reason. But look, let's get the stream properly started. We do have a couple of announcements that we need to go over before we get into the Capture the Flag game that you all have already waited patiently for. We will make them quick. So firstly, since Ask an OpenShift Expert was canceled, I will be the one to go ahead and remind everybody that OpenShift 4.22 is GA as of this week. I can't remember any highlights about this version right now, but I'm sure there's something.
Well, they have the what's next or what's new in I think, or wait, no, it was I can't remember. There's like the what's next that's coming up June 23rd or something like that, and then I think they just had the what's new. I'll have to go look. I can't remember. I'll find the link. I get confused.
We put these things up on our YouTube channels, but we don't talk to each other about what we've put up. So like that cross YouTube admin collaboration is not excellent, but that's okay. That's somebody else's job. We're just here for engineering, having a good time. The other thing is next week we are streaming. And then we'll go back to our usual every other week stream schedule. Next week's stream, our guest, his name is Manish, he is talking to us about Project Veil, which is about identities for AI agents. So really excited for that. That should be really cool. If you haven't heard of Project Veil, it's VAIL. Go ahead and check that out in advance. And we'll be, like I said, our usual 11 a.m. Pacific time for that. Starting next week. For this week's Capture the Flag, while my build maybe finishes, let me go ahead and set the stage. So for those who did not watch last week, Tom talked about how he did some pretty fun stuff to generate SSH traffic for a friend's security scenario. Showed us a little bit about NixOS, and also talked about how he created something called Bootcrack to figure out what he set his password for on a Raspberry Pi that ended up having nothing on it, and could have just been reflashed the whole time.
Yeah, but you never know.
You never know.
Why did I encrypt this drive? I have no idea. Da, da, da.
Yeah. Anyway, so following on that, then I went ahead and gave the presentation that I had given after Tom at the same security conference where we had met, talking about applying like sport fencing, like the mental game of sport fencing, to cybersecurity, like counterattacks, specifically in the context of games, because again, doing those things in reality might be illegal or against compliance requirements, and crime is still crime, even if it's funny. So that said, today what we will be doing is actually playing a capture the flag game based a little bit on that exact kind of concept. So Tom's taking the same type of thing he did for his friend and applying it to an OpenShift cluster that I created with specific endpoints for him to use. And he's going to see if he can capture the flag. I will say that I initially, so when I gave the talk, the presentation, right, called it the Cyber Riposte. One of the things that I mentioned was about using like controlling the game and using a momentum against your opponent. For this initial thing, because we've never played capture the flag with each other before, Tom is set up for success here. But the success should still be fun and educational. We may decide to play a second game in a few weeks if Tom is still available, where Tom is not set up for success. And basically we'll build on this one to see if we can get a completely agentic defender happening. So what I have right now is there is an AI agent. It's in watch mode. So it'll be watching what Tom does, and if that all the code for that, by the way, is in the GitHub repository. There's still some bugs in it and so forth that got worked out that I haven't pushed up yet, but all the code is there. Anyway, so it is in watch mode, and it is going to watch what Tom does and report back. So if we are ready, maybe,
possibly,
we are ready. This is what we get for doing this at 1:30 in the morning last night, / this morning. If we're ready, Tom, I think you will want to share your screen.
Indeed. Let me just make sure I get some stuff out of the way and put up that evil browser you told me not to use so that people can see the things. And we will open a new window for this thing. And let me just copy these into this and scroll in so people can see when I share. Okie dokie. Ooh, it's telling me that it's working so that I could do this over no machine, but I'm going to try that secondarily. We're going to go for sharing a window. And no, not the window. We can do a whole screen. I clicked wrong button. Share entire screen. It should be this. You should see the markdown file. That shows kind of the hints that you have given me, right? Yes. All right. I can see the markdown file on the restream. I'm going to be a bad Tom, and I'm going to put the restream thing down so that I can also work on my other screen and try to also connect again through this. Let me type a very bad password.
Yep. So hang on. I think some folks at home want to hit the endpoint there.
Mm-hmm.
So let me go ahead and copy it so that we can put it into the chat.
I can do this for you as well. I can copy. How do I respond? Do I respond in chat? I don't know if I can respond in chat.
You can do this. You can't. You can do it as a private chat, but I got it. I got it. All right, folks at home, if you DDoS this game while we play it and Tom can't get the flag, that will be hilarious, but also a little sad.
Please don't.
Please don't.
But if you do.
It will be funny.
Okay, can I? So we have this mirror CTF challenge. You see target URL right there. My mission is to try and find a hidden flag through reconnaissance and investigation. The hints that I have are the scrivener knows best. Classical literature beats economics. The mirror sees all, and the flag format looks like that. Good luck. I like that there's a little bit of a target thing there. And that's why I went with stay on target today as a t-shirt, because, hey, if you're pen testing, remember to stay inside of scope, stay on target, and remember that you are there to provide value to the client and or customer and all those other people that you need to produce a report for. Do not accidentally pen test people. You will get in trouble for that. So we are going to start with a wee bit of Googling and some recon, right? So I need to do a thing where I look up Scrivener, and we'll put book just to see if it's inside of a book. Because as well read as I tend to be, I do miss things. Let's see. No, that's Scrivener writing for authors. This is software. We're going to cheat and go with Google. Scrivener book. Let's do classic lit. Aha! Bartleby, the Scrivener. Alrighty. Now we can do let's see, book, quotes, and passages. All right, so leading back to the one project that I do have called BookCrack. What BookCrack does is it would reach out to the Internet Archive, and you can set different flags for what books you'd like to bring down. It will then take the passages inside that book, break them up into however long you set that, and at that point, it will create a word list for you that you can generate to essentially go over the different types of passwords that you could use against your target. If you have pretty good targeting on the subject that you're testing, you can use that to generate a word list. It'll do multiple different mutations. So you'll get lead speak, you'll get camel case, you'll get all the other things that are there. The repo's on its way. And we're going to have best ways to use a Scrivener for collecting quotes. So like what I would do at this point was like, I know it's Bartleby the Scrivener as the book. I would then go into BookCrack and generate that word list from the Scrivener to see what type of password would be there. But the next thing I should do is I should go to this link just to see what I'm dealing with. So I have done this already, where I see a production environment. Another thing I like to do, I'm one of those like web development bootcamp graduates when economics didn't seem like a way to pay the bills. So I'm really addicted to the web dev console. So let's see what happens when I reload the network to see if any other repositories come up, or if I can see the IP address of this thing that's going back and forth. It was not modified. Let's see if we do a git. Okay, so we have HTTPS. I got a fave icon. I've got all those fun things. So we should start doing a little bit of passive reconnaissance, right? I'm going to take a tab that I have and detach it from a thingy. And we're going to do the fancy thing where I hit control and scroll up on my mouse instead of trying to figure out where I put the plus sign for my keyboard, because I use one of those crazy split keyboards that I'm in love with.
Yeah, and that looks good. That's nice and
visible. Nice and visible. All righty. So the other thing I could do is I can hit admin panel, API documentation, and system metrics to see what else is there. All right. So we have Nginx not found, Nginx not found. So those look like they're going to be false leads inside of things. And I went a little too far inside of some things. Let's go to the end of this thing and take metrics off so that people can see. All right, so I have a prod environment. I've got this thing that's there. Now, what I would also do is I would probably take this endpoint and then export it as my target. And I remembered where equal sign is. Going to copy this. I'm going to do some double quotes that are there and paste that in there.
Hey, you've got Targret.
Targret will give you regret.
Yeah, no Targrets.
Thank you for this. All right, so now I can, using my target, and I shall curl this thing. I already set up a user agent as one of my export variables. And we shall put this target in there and see what comes up. Get that period out of there. Hey, that did not work. Oh, that's because I did target. There we go. Target. All right, so we have the curl response that's come back from the web page that matches the thing that we're seeing in the background. If I was really fancy, I would use this thing called like elinks, which is definitely a shout out for some of the older hats that are out that have used command line based browsing and things like that. But if I want to see what's allowed on a website, you usually look for that fancy file that people will put inside of that web dev folder. That's the robots.txt file, which will show you what's allowed and what's not allowed on a server itself. So now I can see every user agent is allowed, but I'm not allowed to go to admin. I'm not allowed to go to secret, API internal, or .git. There is a note, which I'm sure is Hilliary trying to save me a little bit, to check the dossier archive for incident reports.
You're welcome.
The mirror sees all, which is definitely another nod to your wonderful repository that people should definitely use and put pull requests into to make it better out in the world. Credentials are closer than you think, so that's probably something inside of the dossier itself. There's a development flag. Do not use this in production. The flag itself is like fake, not the real flag in elite speak. But this looks like the format of the thing that I'm trying to find for the flag itself, right? So now I have a lot of information that I'm now, and then if I was an even fancier person, I would use the pen test recorder project that I have, and we're going to start. It's going to be what do we call this thing? The mirror CTF, and it should start recording this session for me. So now everything that I do inside of the command line is going to be recorded and reportable back to the clients that are there. This helps you with audits. This helps you with, oh man, how did I actually pen test that thing? How did I get to where I was trying to go? Because every now and again, if you're like screaming at your keyboard and screaming at your compiler and only your neighbors can hear you cry, you're going to forget where you've actually gone to inside of the pen test itself. So this helps with documentation, which documentation is key in all of the things. All right, so I'm going to rerun just so that it is inside of the pen test recorder itself, that curl script, so that it's stored inside of the thing. And I'm also going to get the robots.txt stored inside of that thing as well. Another thing that I would do if I was trying to do these things as well is I usually create a markdown file to write some of the steps I'm going to do. I'll outline the steps that I'm going to take inside of the CTF or the assessment that I'm doing. And then I'll create like a loot folder or something else like that to put like robots.txt. It looked like this. I'd take the curl response from the page and put it down there as well. And see what else I can get. Now, I do know those other two endpoints that I have, just because I browsed to them with Firefox, pretty fancy. I need to do this with curl as well, and I get 404 returned to me for API. And I believe that I can type because I'm not paranoid sweating anymore. We also get 404 for the metrics that are there as well. So these kind of look like decoys. And I know, let's see if I can go over again, because of what robots.txt told me, admin is not allowed as well. So that's also a 404 that's going to be there. So for like defenders, nothing really fires yet. There's you don't want to like smack down people that are poking your systems pretty aggressively, because it might tip your hand to things that are going on. But we're going to use a very fancy nmap command. We're going to hope that nmap installed appropriately inside of NixOS. NixOS is really cool, by the way, for other people who haven't seen this, where you can use a configuration.nix and like a different type of module file itself inside of a modules folder to be like, oh, I want my Chromium to look like this. I want my Vim to look like this. I want my CLIs to look like this. And then when you go to build this thing with NixOS-build switch, it will update the operating system itself for everybody to see. We did not get.
Hey, Tom, did you, that pen test repository you linked earlier, does that have some of these tools you're talking about in it or mentioned in the README?
They're all in the pentesttools.nix file itself. So that file gets added on into the modules folder itself. And then when it goes to build, the configuration file goes, oh, I need to go to this other file and take things from there and build them in. Also inside of that thing, because I copied this from, that's a little shortcut. That doesn't want to work. Because I copied them from, let's cheat, right? We're going to do SSH-O. What is the flag that I need to do for this thing? It is like host name check. I believe in you. It is, aha. I'll go back, we'll do strict host key checking equals no. And then we'll do admin just for the beginning of this thing, and do add. And we will take this link, copy link address. I will paste this thing into the thingy, because every now and again you go to type and you get really nervous. We're going to take that guy out. We're going to take HTTPS out and stuff like that. And let's see if I get an IP back from this thing. So yeah, while this thing tries to attempt to do SSH over this thing, and I didn't set some kind of flag so that it will fail faster than I needed to, so that I could run nmap. I also should try like NSLOOKUP or other different ways that you could try and figure out like what the IP address is going to be, so I could send the IP address to nmap, because apparently nmap was kind of angry at this. Yeah, back to like the tooling part of this thing, because I copied this thing from Parrot OS itself. There are a lot of tools that exist inside of Parrot that you need to build with Git or pip or some other types of tools that are in there, or like Docker tools itself. You have to kind of go through that pen testing tools file and see which things you would need to like manually pop in there. I haven't taken the time to point the French intern at it and be like, hey, you need to make sure that all of this stuff is there and working and effective. But I was really hoping.
I think we do need to clarify that Claude code is what the French intern means.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. That's kind of what Claude code, or how I use Claude code, is going to be, or how I refer to Claude code. Let's see. That should have come back a wee bit faster. So I'm going to see if Nuclei is going to be kind to me. Wow, Nuclei didn't get built as well. All right. So let's try and map again. Target is spelled the right way. Let's see if, nope, that's not going to do that. Do 500 again. I'm going to go down to my clipboard and I'm going to pull out the domain itself, and we're going to paste this thing inside of here, and we're going to go back and take out HTTPS on this thing and see if it wants to resolve. I believe in you, Nmap. You can do it. And then if I get stuck, I'll beg Hilliary to give me the IP address itself. But what we should see is, because I'm scanning this thing a wee bit aggressively, and there should be like some things that open up and some things that aren't opening up anymore, just because of the way that the CyberRepost repository will pivot back and forth between showing services that are there, showing services that are not there, based on the honeypot that's inside of it. But yes, every now and again, it is quite cool to do things, but there's a lot of things that don't. Let's see, 0 hosts completed, 1 is up, 1 is undergoing connect scanning. All right, so we're pretty much there. I'm seeing that I got 35% of this thing done. There's a wee bit of waiting when it comes down to doing these things as tools run in the background. That's kind of some of the benefit of the unlocked versions of LLMs. You can kind of get some of these agent models running and stuff like that, or you can go old school and throw everything inside of a giant bash file with a lot of error handling logic that exists inside of things. But we need to get some ports or something else to look at. All right, I know robots.txt is there, right? So let's see if we got anything else in there. Disallow admin, git, internal. I've got this production server. And let's see, we've got dossier as an archive. Let's see if it's something fun like this. No, Nginx did not find this. All right, so we'll go back. And would it be?
Oh, Tom, I have bad news for you.
Oh, no.
So one of my teammates is watching the stream. And he beat you.
That's not surprising at all. I'm just a humble economist, a dismal scientist and a failed investment banker. So I'm just doing my best. Right. So I see 80 and 443 is open. I'm going to continue to go to this thing because where is my continue? Be careful. Something doesn't look right. Bad Firefox. Stop me from doing this.
Can you do the Google thing where you type "this is unsafe"?
Yeah.
No, I'm just going to try. Okay, it's currently not serving a request at this endpoint and may not have started or is still starting. Let's see if I believe in you.
You still have the Book of Mormon, I believe, song now, just that one line looping through my head. And I know it's a different song than what you were thinking when you started singing that, but, that's fine.
Yeah, all right. So we have host doesn't exist. Make sure the host name is typed correctly. Host exists, we have a matching path. URL typed correctly and route path matches, but all pods are down. Let me see if it is not just one, it is the other, right? Because it is dossier there. Is it multiple ones? Is it HTTPS? Maybe if I scroll. Aha! I just needed to scroll back so that I could hit this proceed button. I apologize, everybody. Application I see is not at this endpoint. Oh. Okay, so that's not a thing either. So I've got 80, I've got 443. Let's see.
Actually, let's just hope. No, that actually is the right endpoint, but it crashed. Why did it crash?
Probably because I've been hucking a lot of things at it for a while.
Well, you're not the only one.
Everybody else is like, this is fun. Hey, look, I've got filtered SSH open on this thing too, though. So that's kind of cool. Let's see if we can do. All right, we'll go back because I had SSH open on this thing as well. And let's see what happens if I just don't put a username in there.
Oh, I know what happened. Okay. So it's a brittleness of this game designed for one person actually being hit by multiple people. The Hugging Face AI thing went boom.
We have killed it.
I didn't allocate. This is not a very big cluster, and that is a very big thing. So we didn't allocate. I didn't allocate enough for multiple hits, and I, of course, tested it as a one player myself. I didn't spawn out 3 or 4 people, which unfortunately, just because of the size of this, we DDoSed me. That's okay. I thought it would be hilarious if we succeeded.
Oh, so you weren't the only person to get DDoSed today.
I was not the only person. DDoSes happen every day. And it's my fault for telling people they could play along at home. I told you could play along at home, and then I didn't actually make sure before I said that it would be able to hold up to this. That's on me.
That's okay. I'm going to blame you for the giant trail of panic sweat that is forming on my back right now.
I think it's going to be slow.
That's good. This gives me time to do Bartleby.
Yeah, you were only part of the way there. So even with it down, you still have more to find.
All right. Well, at least I have a good candidate for.
Oh wait, what did you Google? I missed it.
Mr. Mel. Bartleby, Scrivener, Bartleby quotes and passages.
Aha. Okay. Yes.
And then my other AI assistant helped me. Gemini. It's very good at things. But now this is definitely going to be a book that I have to read because it's the story of Wall Street from 1853. And not to say that Wall Street was better back then, but it was just different. Finance is what finance does. If anybody is like really, really into reading financial history, there are some wonderful books that I could suggest for people. Feel free to reach out and I will send you a billion things to read. But there is a wonderful dude named Barry Ritholtz who has a really good series of blogs that I've been reading for a long time. Econ Browser is also really cool for that kind of stuff. Also, Hajun Chang writes amazing books, and he has this thing on YouTube called Economics for the People. But yeah, let's see. Because you said it is back up, correct?
Almost.
Okay, I wait. I shall
You can
wait.
put those. Okay. That endpoint is back up now. I had to remove the Hugging Face call.
All right, let's see if we get SSH in the background while I reload one page.
But the good news was I had a earlier version of this that did not use Hugging Face, so I just restored to that. So here and now, and this kind of should be back up.
We shall find out.
There we go.
So dossiers, I found a username and a password field, right? So because I'm doing this from the web page itself, let's see. Oh, I can't because of the thing that's there. Let me cancel this first. I know authentication is required. Hint, username is CTF. Aha! Let's go back to network, and I'm going to totally forget how to download HAR files, right? Because I can save things as a HAR file. So we're going to reload, and I can see the document is there. I've got a 401 for here, but this should be evidence that I will provide my client or include in my report. Wow, see, I cannot type today either.
No, you're doing great. None of us can type while being watched, so
Yeah.
you're doing great.
It's way better than I would have done. This would have been
Same.
a nightmare.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and I have dyslexia, so it would have gotten real bad real fast.
All right, and the other one is, so we didn't get anything from like admin at Red Team yet, right? So, I hit Control V instead of Control C. Cancel that out. Let's see if I type dossiers while I do CTF, and where is it's this, right? The most famous line is this. So we'll copy that famous line and go back to here, and we'll put password in. I will check if it's that. We'll try and sign in. It was not that. So we'll do CTF again. I'll put the line in again, and I'll do some of the mutations that the pen test project would have done. Let me see if I go back to, I'll go back to my demo. I'll go back to NixOS pen test. I have to go back one more because it's the pen test CFP, and then slides, and then I'll bring up declarative destruction so that I could show off the mutation strings of things. All right, so I could discard. I don't need that to recover. Shout out to LibreOffice. Or I guess, yeah, recover selected. Let's see what happens. We'll do, where is mutations? These are the different mutation engines that exist inside of this thing. So it's no space, camel case, underscore, acronym, reversed, all that other fun stuff. I did take the password on that one Raspberry Pi that didn't really have anything useful on it. And I translated a quote from a book into Japanese. So that's why when I was like, hey, Claude, I need this thing to do this and this and make sure that it could actually translate some things. That's how that kind of happened. But it's a real fun way to get things done. But we're going to do no space first. And we'll do all lowercase. That was not it. If I was a better man, I would have run just that one phrase through stuff. but we're going to go back. We'll try underscores. Oh, success, right? We've got a 200 response here. Let's see if I can click this thing. I can save all as a HAR file, which is really good. So now I can provide evidence to my client that things are there. And let's see what the web page gives us. The other thing that I could do, because this little CLI guy has failed, we can also do some. I need my little cheat sheet that shows me how curl with a password works, but I don't remember. Whatever. I should curl this thing with like username and password field in it. Let's see if curl. I think it's help. Yep, it's help. Help dash category. All right, let's do man page curl, and then we'll do the little backspace to see if password is in there. Passing creative things. Aha, curl dash u name and password. Basic. Okay, so we'll do curl dash u CTAF, and it was I underscore would. Let's go back to clipboard.
Prefer not to.
We believe in me. Prefer not to. And then should be basic, and then HTTPS, blah, blah, blah. Copy. Let's see if it copied the HTTPS too. It did. So we'll go back and take out one of these and see. Now, again, because I'm running that pentest rec project that is part of the NixOS pentest repository, I get all of this stuff inside of my report as well. And we all know the fun things about that is I should also pipe this thing to like dossier.html for my reports right there. So that would be right there. I've got some data, it's users and Tom and all the other fun stuff. So that would be a good way that I could also provide results. Not clar, it's clear. Oh, I hit the wrong layer on my machine. All right, so back to here. So we have successfully authenticated to the Mirrors dossier archive, collects intelligence about stuff. We have all the incidents, right? And if I go back to my folder here, dossier archive for all the incident reports. And I have search dossier by IP. It's got a JSON API. That's pretty cool. Mirrors
that may or may not work. I didn't test it. I ran out of time.
I was really hoping No Machine would like play nice so that I could do essentially what I'm doing inside of Firefox right now in the machine that was set up on AWS at the moment, but it did not want to play nicely. So let's make this a little bit bigger, and then we'll make this a little bit bigger. So we've got some attacker IPs that are definitely possibly me from another IP address.
Yeah. Also, the other thing is because we know we had multiple people playing, I'm not entirely certain because we lost our Hugging Face model partway through and I had to cheat it. I'm not entirely certain that your report is clean and doesn't include the behaviors of some other people, which I think is really fun. Because again, last minute decision to tell other people they could play along without actually having done any work to make that work well.
I'll read those dossiers last. All right, so we've got incident Tom demo, right? So the summary is this thing. We had this IP that was coming at you from an nnet scripting engine with the user agent detected. The AI is giving us a report about the IP itself. It has confidence and technical analysis about this thing. So I got some scanning techniques with pre-attack recon. Behavior indicates deliberate attempt to enumerate the services. Got OSINT intelligence, actions taken, and it's a threat assessment that this thing is a high risk. It's pretty cool, right? So that dossier demo thingy is over there. Again, because it's a way to keep reporting on the right things to the client. We go up into curl, and then we'll do Tom demo. and take all these out and see if that comes in so that I have that recorded. And let's see what other people's dossiers say. Tom Live, Web Recon. We've got a multi-stage attack campaign that was identified. Right, we've got another test that was doing some manual reconnaissance itself and map. Your test. Right, system was identified. Active dossier. Active dossier. Password brute force attack successful. Authentication password discovered. Now, that was me trying to log in earlier. I'm going to go back to dossiers. And what I really want is SSH. It wouldn't be admin then. It should be CTF. Oh, if I was a smarter man, I would have put Tmux on this machine so that I could split the window in the same pen.
Oh, we talked about that even.
Yep.
We even said we were going to do that.
I totally forgot to add that in as a feature. I apologize.
Yeah, that's all right.
But yeah, I would have just split Tmux out of here and run this against the dossier side as well to see if I can SSH in over that. But let's go back to home.
The only thing SSH would have gotten you was one of the honey tokens I planted, to be honest, and it would have shown up in your
It would show up, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I still need to find the flag.
I mean, the flag is your accurate report with your IP address. So you did.
Oh.
It actually tells you that on the web page, the landing page of dossiers. If you had read it, just go to the bottom.
Find your IP in the list. Your dossier contains something special. Oh, right. All right. So now, what was?
It's not that secret. The something special is the write-up of your behavior.
I was gonna say I totally forgot the public IP address of the AWS machine that I'm coming through.
Oh, I have no idea. And like I said, I'm not entirely certain because I didn't actually battle test this for multiplayer, which we ended up doing. I'm not entirely certain that it didn't get, but the brute force attack should definitely be yours.
I feel
because
bad.
I will tell you, my coworker found the password. So that's pretty well game at this point in time, at least for this version of the game, without the active defense and with our Hugging Face container crashing.
I would prefer not to. Right, and then let's try. And that should be, if I do target, we will attempt 4 of these.
Oh man, you guys are asking me serious questions about security in the chat, and I wasn't paying any attention because we're over here playing a capture the flag game.
Let's see.
I'll put this up on the Yay T-Man.
Option scoop could not connect to SSH hostname required. Oh.
I don't remember where the SSH honeypot is off the top of my head, but I will tell you that I will be putting up. So there's the public repository that has like all of the general things that I was doing here, and even that's a little bit out of date. There's a private repository that has the full game, the full setup as seen here that I will make public. I just wasn't going to make it public before Tom was done playing because I didn't want him to cheat.
I feel bad for everybody that's watching how my brain works initially, where I'm like, she told me it doesn't work, but I'm still using Hydra to SSH into this thing.
One of them does have an SSH. There is an SSH vector honeypot. I just can't remember where I put it.
Yeah.
I just one of those. I don't remember where. There's one. There's a few different ones around that you didn't actually run into, but I also didn't forcibly guide you to them either.
Well, I found the thingy, right? So I can just
You
go.
did. You found the thingy.
Now the other thing that I could do is if I do replay, and then go to home, pen test rec, and then demo 30 min on this day should be. So one of the things that I did do for the repository, if you go to it, there's like a GIF inside of there. I used AAG to take the ASCII cinema of this thing and throw it into a GIF so that you can kind of show off things that are going on. But
oh yeah, Tom, this might be the port that you needed for the SSH to be successful, if you feel like checking.
322. I think it's P for the port.
Needs I don't remember how SSH flags work, so it doesn't need a space between the P.
Might not. That's cheap. Man, SSH.
I know, right?
Port. Oh, I just do port at the end of it. Durr.
Oh yeah, you can do colon, right, and then the port.
Yep.
That's not the right one. There you go.
Name while service unknown. Wow, I didn't think I would type dossiers actually correct when I did that.
Good job.
But we'll do just to show off.
Hang on. Let me go find what is the.
All right, let's do findings. Oh, that did the other demo. It didn't do today's. Where's today's? Oh, is it the only one that's on here?
Oh, no, here we go. Yeah. So.
Pentest rec is broken.
No, that's correct. Actually. So you'll find the port exposed, or rather, you'll find that the port looks like it might be exposed, but it's actually not. One of the other honeypots was supposed to direct you to that port, and then it's dead. I remember what I did at o'clock in the morning when I made a lot of very rapid decisions with my French intern.
It is a lot of fun when you're just like, oh no, I remember I was supposed to do this thing. You're like, panic.
It wasn't that I forgot; it's that I ran out of time.
That is part of life. But for the moment, we've reached end of game.
Yeah, you solved the game without actually finding the. It's interesting. So you solved the game through the social engineering solution vector, which I picked an easy password so that it would be able to do it.
Thank you.
There is an actual file planted that has a few password options for you, and one of them is the correct one.
Ah, okay.
But this game was specifically designed for you as a person, hence the classic literature and economics references. What was that?
I was trying to get No Machine to work really fast, but nope, didn't want to.
Doesn't want to. But so to recap the game, obviously, Tom was set up for success here with this game. The real beauty is not that he succeeded, although that's always fun. It was the utilization of what's in that repository, the capturing of the methodology, the capturing of the evidence for a client, and the and the replay thing that you can do. The capture and the replay I think is really cool. Since we started a few minutes late and we kind of just jumped straight into it, do you want to talk a little bit more about that repository? I know we covered it last stream. Do you want to cover a little bit more about that repository and the importance of some of those steps that you took? As I would have probably liked to have had you talk about them beforehand, but again, because we started late trying to just catch up. folks who've stuck around this long, if you don't want to, or you already watched the last stream and you were there for Tom talking about it, like feel free to move on with your day now. But anybody who missed that and doesn't want to go back and watch a completely different hour,
Yeah,
I'm gonna make him give you the 5-minute
the 5-minute version of things. Yeah,
5-minute version. Yeah, for Johnny, who did not watch last week's stream and also wasn't here.
We'll do it straight from the repository.
Fair.
Oh, a little bit more fun. My network is slow. All right.
It's okay. It did well. It lasted through the whole game.
The impetus of this project was I had a friend reach out in another chat that was like, hey, I'm giving a demo on honeypots. Does anybody want to create crazy traffic for me over SSH? And I, again, have to apologize to her because I forgot that it was SSH initially. Me and the French intern attacked everything that was open on that thing. But I had been learning NixOS because I got pulled into this thing by another Discord that I was in where people were like, hey, you should look up ViOS and NixOS. And I was like, oh, this could be driven in such fun ways. And I saw that opportunity as a way to point French intern at one of my other favorite operating systems, which is ParrotOS, because they do a security version for pen testing and then a regular desktop version for people that just want to have a more secure, privacy-focused OS for themselves. And I was like, hey, dude, copy this thing, put it into a Nix format so that I could generate this thing the entire time. So it takes the configuration.nix and the pentesttools.nix that I was talking about and builds all of those different ways for the user and a bad password that I put inside of there and the database for Postgres so that Metasploit could work on it as well. But I'll open up Pentest Tools and we'll scroll in a wee bit more to be kind to people.
We do need to see your screen again, by the way.
Oh, man. I did that whole thing without sharing my screen, didn't I?
That's okay. Most people listen to this podcast anyway.
So we shall share. All right. Now it says I'm streaming.
Yeah, I need to enable it. There you go.
All right. Now we've got a thing. So this is like the pen test tools thing. And what I kind of like about this is it's very declarative when it comes to this thing. That's why the PowerPoint was called declarative destruction, because I can put all the things that I need in a format in like a functional type of a way to have it repeatable every time that somebody uses this kind of a configuration file. But Bookcrack is the project that goes out to the Internet Archive, pulls all the things down. But you can see it went through all the different phases that you would do or the different types of assessments that you could do and pulled out the tools that you would use from ParrotOS. And then it also said like, hey, this doesn't exist inside of Nix packages right now. You need to pip install like WFuzz or Comics or Medusa or Crunch or all those other things. And that's another thing that I need to go into to have part of the build script. It either run out to the repository, build the project itself and spin everything up, or if I get brave enough, try and add it into the Nix packages itself and then become the maintainer of these tools inside of the Nix way. So I'm sorry if I do that and break everybody's systems later on, but we'll crack README open. There is all the different tools that were going to be in there. There's some custom tools. So there's this thing called a non-surf that I pulled from Parrot's repository. What it does, it throws all your traffic over Tor. And because I wanted to create crazy different ways to put traffic into my friend's demo, I was like, there's got to be a way to spin up multiple Tor sources to do this thing. And I think the only time that I got yelled at by Claude when I was like, hey man, can you make like residential proxies for me so that it would look like that kind of a thing? And it was like, spin up Docker containers and use every port that you have. But if you want to pay for these services, here are some suggestions right there. And I actually tried to have it rebuild Mirai for me. And that's when it actually stopped me from doing things, which was really funny for people that I knew that worked there. They were like, send me your session ID. Pentest Rec, I mentioned that it was a thing that you guys saw where this thing will record all the scripts and put the ASCII Cinema together for you so that you could show this thing off in kind of a thing. But we'll also do the control click for Bookcrack. It has Mate set up, right? So I probably could have did start X and try to get into that kind of a thing. There are other tools that aren't in there that I'll probably end up adding except Cobalt Strike because I'm not going to pay for that thing. Though, if you're really funky on Virus Total, you could probably find somebody's that they accidentally uploaded. Be careful. Some of those are spiked. Updating is pretty easy.
Don't forget that crime is still crime even when it's fun.
Crime is still crime.
Don't encourage people to do bad things, Tom.
I will go back to the legal disclaimer here, right? The views expressed here are solely Tom's crazy brain, right? Don't do anything that's like going to get you in trouble. Crime is still crime, even if it's funny. But Bookcrack, right? How it works is it runs out to, there's an easier way to do this. We do whole fast slideshow. Right, and then we'll go to next. Problem, right? Pen test distributions are kind of broken. I wanted a repeatable thing to have happen when I gave this thing over. If I was going into a new assessment, I wanted to use the same thing for the assessment every time. Or if it was a different assessment like this one, I would build out the individual thing for itself to keep going. I built up an AWS environment so that I could launch this thing safely and repeatably inside of the VPC. That's in the demo folder under the deploy AWS script. You can hit deploy AWS up, and it'll spin up the attacker and the 4 targets that you can use to test your metal against these types of things. But book crack, right, goes out to the Internet Archive, does password extraction. It uses Spacey to lemmaticize the words that are there, does the password mutations, and creates you this word list, right? So it went from call me Ishmael, gets all these different types of ways that it could be mutated, and then does Spanish and Japanese translations, because those are the 2 languages that I learned when I was in school. But this was just, again, something I built because my friend needed SSH traffic, and I was like, how far can we take this? Multi-Tor does that 10 different Tor instances so that you can get the different traffic that's going there. You can use proxy change with the round robin flag if you're doing OSINT or reconnaissance or other different types of ways, and then you'll get the IPs that are actually spun up inside of that multi-Tor thing, so that if you are doing this for a client, you can send them those IPs and be like, hey, I promise you this is actually me. We got past that thingy, but it is pretty easy to get this thing going. You just kind of like clone it. You have to do AWS configure and put your secrets inside of that tool itself, and then the demo deploy script will take care of all the things that are there. I am going to fix the part that was done today, so that if you wanted to sign in using No Machine or see an actual server itself and use a little bit more of the tooling that's in there, that'll probably be in the next iteration of this tool as it's going. The other thing that I have for like the grand vision of this tool and project itself is I want to be able to take an output of an Active Directory, use that as a way to spin up those target nodes repeatably and reliably inside of an AWS environment. And then at the end of this thing, have an output for a this thing that Palantir calls an alerting detection strategy. I'm a detection engineer in my real life, and one of the real ways that I enjoy using that project from Palantir is it's a markdown file that you can get off of GitHub. If you put that in a build pipeline with this other amazing project from Microsoft called the Microsoft Threat Intelligence Center Python notebooks, you can enrich or call data from your SIEM through the attack, through the entire process itself, so that if you have an alert that fires, you can create all the steps that an analyst would need to go through with the API calls pre-baked inside of this thing, and then roll forward with life that way. I'd like to get to the point where I'm dragging CVEs or new things that have dropped into a little bit of a chatbot window, and the chatbot goes, all right, we're going to build up your AWS environment that looks like this. I've created a deliberately vulnerable version of this thing inside of your network so that you can see the telemetry actually going back into what your SIEM would be, so that if things actually happened on your production network, you would already have the playbooks ready for yourself to actually build out. But that's kind of like the general gist of where I'm going to try and take this platform. I'm going to try and build a breach and attack simulation generator, and kind of like rock forward that way for providing value to people in that kind of an alerting detection strategy kind of a way. I might actually have the
and I will say that these capture the flag games, right, that you see people play them at security conferences. Red Hat Product Security posts one every year. The purpose of them is not really to like live defending and stuff like that is not the ideal. You want to be locked down. But the idea of them is to help teach security concepts and techniques, which is a lot of what the repositories that I've been building out do as well. So the cyber repost, you could technically probably do these things in production. Don't use them for capture the flag games, use them for games, use them for training and upscaling. Do not actually try to do this type of thing in production. Again, it could be illegal. It would definitely be against your compliance requirements. It's probably stupid in playing with fire. But that said, today's game and all of its setup, I have made the repository public. I'm pushing the bug fixes to some of the game files and the how to play handbook and everything up pretty soon. That's in the chat. I'm going to just show it up on the screen here. If you want to set up a capture the flag game with your friends, use it. If you want to set up a capture the flag game for yourself and try out Tom's thing, use it. These are for learning about product security. Don't do dumb things. Crime is still crime, even when it's funny.
Crime is still crime. But I got to thank Bjorn for posting CubeGoat, because now I have an entirely really fun way to dive into other ways to build this thing out.
Oh yeah, that's a. I'll show that up on. Yep, CubeGoat. I also was not aware of that until, and he actually did say it earlier in the chat as well. I just didn't bring it up at that point in time. But yeah, so that was today's game. If people liked this, I liked this. We can have Tom back and have him play a more active scenario where a scale-tested AI defender is actively making his life difficult while he is running his pen test.
Hopefully at that point I'm using a local model to also attack your AI at the same time.
No, it needs to be AI versus AI for sure at that point, right? Because it's the speed, it's about controlling distance and timing, right? Speed wins. So it seems like people liked it. We got about 10 to 15 viewers at a time on the stream, which is pretty, like, we always get quite a few people watch this after, but live it's always just like a small handful. So people stayed up late, people got up early. We appreciate that with all of our silliness. So yeah, we'll probably have Tom back in a few weeks to do that, because I think him and I both need time to battle test
some of our stuff. Yeah.
Battle test some of our stuff, because unfortunately, I did it to myself. I told people they could play along, and then I ran out of memory on my container. That's on me.
Life happens.
Life happens. I'm a reliability engineer. Do I technically know better? Sure. Did I still make the mistake? Absolutely, I did. So yeah, we'll have. I think, Tom, we will have you back in a few weeks, so that we can run one more game and actually see if we can use AI to defend against AI. And you will not be set up for success. I will be me.
I appreciate the meanness, and I'm actually pretty happy that I found that password with a Google search really fast. So the power of Google dorking compels everybody.
Yes, and like I said, it was an intentional decision I made when creating the flag that you could solve it with technology or with social engineering. But I gave you hints enough that you could. If I had just said it's about one of your interests, we would have never gotten there.
No, I think the first time that I ran book crack against the targets that I have, where I knew what the password was that I set, it was 96 hours to go through all 406,000 password mutations that it did from just 60 books. So like that was, it wasn't even 60, I think it was like 6 books. So like the password cracking can be long. Like the bigger the rig you have, the faster it's going to go, all that other fun stuff. But I had a blast. Thank you everybody for like joining and watching me panic sweat online as I was trying to figure out how to get inside of a website. I appreciate you setting this thing up.
Yeah, no, thank you so much for doing it with us. This was really like we went to a conference. My favorite thing about going to a conference is I get to find the next sucker who's going to be a guest. Jeez, that's dark. A guest on our podcast.
We're all eventually ghosts.
I was going to say a guest host, and it came out ghost. It's fine. Everything's fine. So Tom very kindly agreed to be that sucker, and then now he's agreed to come back one more time. So one more time in a few weeks, after I have some time to battle test this, probably we'll battle test it against each other. We will come back and we'll play with an active defense and see how that goes. Until then, next week again, same time, same place. Okay, not me. I'm in New York right now. I'll be in my real same place. Project Veil we will talk about, which is about like identities for AI and AI related security. So we're on a security kick right now. It's I went to a security conference, and now that's what we're doing for the next several weeks. You're welcome. And yeah, until then, Johnny's going to take us out of here. Choose your technical debt wisely. We'll see you next week.
Bye, guys. Thank you.